Welcome, history enthusiasts, to a journey back in time. Today, we are not just reading about history, we are stepping right into it. Using the power of advanced AI and historical data, we are about to resurrect a city frozen in a pivotal moment. Philadelphia, 1776. This wasn't just any city, it was the crucible of a revolution, the very birthplace of the United States of America. Forget the black and white drawings and faded maps. We are about to walk these streets, hear the echoes of the past, and see the world as the Founding Fathers saw it. So, grab your tricorn hats, and let's explore the sights, sounds, and soul of colonial Philadelphia. This is the largest city in British North America, a bustling metropolis of over 30,000 souls. The streets, a mix of cobblestone and dirt, are alive with activity. Look around you. Horse-drawn carriages and heavy wagons rattle past, their drivers shouting to clear path. Merchants hawk their wares from open front shops, their voices a constant hum in the background. You can almost smell the mix of wood smoke from countless chimneys, the scent of fresh bread from a nearby bakery, and the salty air drifting up from the Delaware River, the city's lifeline. Let's head down High Street, now known as Market Street. This is the commercial heart of Philadelphia. The street is wide and lined with a covered market that runs for blocks. Farmers from the surrounding countryside bring their fresh produce here, crates of apples, bushels of corn, and pens of livestock. Butchers in their aprons skillfully prepare cuts of meat. The air is thick with the sounds of haggling and friendly chatter. Notice the architecture. The buildings are predominantly brick, 2 or 3 stories high, with neat, symmetrical windows. This Georgian style reflects the city's English roots and the Quaker influence of order and simplicity. You'll see shop signs swinging in the breeze, advertising everything from tailors and blacksmiths to wig makers and printers. Speaking of printers, let's turn onto a smaller side street and find a print shop, a vital hub of information and debate. Inside, it's a hive of activity. The air is heavy with the smell of ink and paper. The massive wooden printing press is the centerpiece, a marvel of 18th century technology. A printer and his apprentices work with focused intensity. One carefully sets individual metal letters into a composing stick, forming words and sentences backward. Another inks the typeplate, while the master printer pulls the heavy lever, pressing paper against the ink type. This is how news traveled. Pamphlets, newspapers, and broadsides roll off these presses daily, carrying fiery essays and revolutionary ideas to the public. In a city simmering with political dissent, these print shops are the engines of change, turning thoughts into powerful words that can ignite a population. Think of Thomas Paine's Common Sense, which was printed right here in Philadelphia this very year. Its electrifying call for independence spread like wildfire, thanks to these very machines. Now, let's make our way to the waterfront. The Delaware River is teeming with ships. Towering masts create a dense forest against the sky. These are the vessels that connect Philadelphia to the wider world, bringing in goods from Europe and the Caribbean and exporting the bounty of Pennsylvania. You'll see dockworkers, strong and weathered, loading and unloading massive barrels and crates. Sailors from distant lands shout in different languages, sharing stories and news from across the Atlantic. The port is the economic engine of the city, a place of constant motion and global connection. But in 1776, it's also a place of tension. British naval power is a constant, looming presence, and control of this port is strategically crucial. The flow of goods is the lifeblood of the colonies, and the threat of a blockade hangs heavy in the air. As we move away from the commercial bustle, we enter the political heart of not just Philadelphia, but all 13 colonies, the Pennsylvania State House. Today, we know it as Independence Hall. This elegant brick building with its iconic clock tower is where history is being forged. Let's step inside. The air here feels different, charged with anticipation and gravity. We find ourselves in the assembly room. The sun streams through the tall windows, illuminating the green baize-covered tables where the delegates of the Second Continental Congress are meeting. Look at the men gathered here: John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, John Hancock. They are dressed in the formal attire of the day: breeches, stockings, and powdered wigs. Their faces are etched with concentration and the weight of their decisions. The debate is intense. Voices rise and fall as they argue over the most monumental question of their lives: whether to declare independence from Great Britain. The risks are unimaginable. A declaration of independence is an act of treason, punishable by death. They would be challenging the most powerful empire on earth. Yet, the arguments for liberty, for self-governance, and for the rights of man fill the room with a powerful conviction. Here, In this very space, Jefferson's carefully crafted words are read, debated, and refined. Every phrase of the Declaration of Independence is scrutinized. Imagine the courage it took for these men. The Liberty Bell, then simply the State House bell, would have pealed, it sound a proclamation of this new beginning. This yard became sacred ground, the first place where the American people heard the founding promise of their nation. We'll visit a tavern, like the City Tavern, a popular meeting place for the delegates and prominent locals. Inside, it's warm and filled with the clatter of tankards and the buzz of conversation. Men gather around wooden tables, enjoying a meal and a drink, but more importantly, they are exchanging ideas. Political strategies are hashed out over a pint of ale. Business deals are struck. News and rumors are passed from table to table. In these informal settings, alliances were formed and the intellectual foundations of the new republic were strengthened. Life, however, was not easy. As the year progresses, the city transforms into a military hub. The patriotic fervor is palpable. Militias drill in public squares. The sound of fife and drum becomes a common refrain. The city's artisans, once crafting furniture and silverware, now turn their skills to making muskets, cannons, and uniforms for the fledgling Continental Army. The spirit of revolution has seized every aspect of life. This city, once a peaceful Quaker haven, is now on a war footing, preparing to defend the independence it so boldly declared. As our journey through 1776 Philadelphia comes to an end, let's take one last look around. Through this AI reconstruction, we've walked the same cobblestones as the founders, heard the echoes of their debates. Philadelphia in 1776 was more than just a collection of brick buildings and busy streets. It was an idea taking physical form. The decisions made here, in the heat of a Philadelphia summer, set in motion a chain of events that would change the course of world history forever. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey back in time. Seeing this city come to life helps us understand that the United States wasn't born in a quiet, sterile room, but in the noisy, messy, and passionate environment of a real, living city. It was built by real people who faced immense risks for a future they could only imagine. If you enjoyed this historical reconstruction, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the past. Let me know in the comments what historical moment you'd like to see brought to life next. Until then, stay curious.